Coming up, local officials say prostitution is becoming more popular in eastern Kentucky as women and men are feeling their drug addictions. And we look at how some counties are working to reduce the impact of Kentucky's teacher shortage. Plus, researchers say the cost of going back to school is higher than ever, but some eastern Kentucky groups are working to ease the financial strain.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5:29 on Tuesday, July the 30th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning into Mountain News This Morning. Yesterday was beautiful, but today some green is returning to the radar. Let's send it on over to Brandon Robinson for a breakdown of what to expect on this Tuesday. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, and things again are starting to pick up, but not quite yet. We take a look at McKee this morning. That camera back online today. Beautiful shot there. Some fog, so be careful of that. Patchy, dense fog across parts of the region. But the rain for now is into parts of central Kentucky, coming back into parts of northeastern Kentucky, northern Kentucky there. Moorhead seeing some showers, Frenchburg down towards Stanton there. That's basically the only spots in our area seeing any rain right now. Visibility issues in some parts of the area, so be aware of that this morning. Temperatures a big spread from 64 in Wise to 72 in Jackson. That's kind of the range this morning, so splitting the difference there, going hopefully a little bit drier or a little bit cooler there by 7 o'clock, 65, and then we'll get up to 82 or so this afternoon as we see those rain chances really ramp up. We'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a few minutes.
All righty, Brandon, we'll be back with you. Well, tensions are beginning to boil over in Harlan County this morning. Cumberland is where a group of more than 20 miners are blocking a train from leaving a mine owned by Revelation Energy. WYMT's Connor James has been there since early yesterday morning as more and more miners began to show up. He joins us again live this morning. Connor.
Yeah, Will, 5:30 marks actually exactly 15 hours since those protests began up at Clover. Now, this all stemmed from a train going there and attempting to take out coal. These miners blocking that, not letting that happen. That's why they're here in front of the tracks. Now, yesterday at the height of the protest, we saw more than 75 people here along US 119. That number has gone down as the nights progressed, but there's still a handful of people here, and they say there's going to be more coming out today to take over. They say they plan on working kind of in shifts to kind of keep this train blocked so that the train really can't get out. Now, throughout the evening, we've seen people come by with cases of water, food, chairs, really just stuff for the miners and their families out here who are spending the night out here. They tell me they really have no answers into when they'll be paid, and the train removing the coal was really the final straw.
You know, we're doing without money, food, and everything else for our kids. They're starting back school, and we can't even get clothes and nothing else for them. So, you know, it was like a kick in the face is basically what it was.
Now, we really don't know how long this protest is going to last. Some of these guys I've interviewed today tell me they'd really rather go to jail than move for this train to come by here. Regardless, we're going to have coverage throughout the day of this, so just be sure to keep an eye on that. I'll send it back to you now, Will.
All righty, Connor, thank you. I will relieve you once we get off the desk. Keep up the good work, buddy. Now, local officials say prostitution is becoming more popular in eastern Kentucky as women and men are feeling their drug addictions. WYMT's Marianne Fletcher explains why it may not look like what you would expect.
When you think of prostitution, many envision a woman standing on a street corner asking for money in exchange for sexual favors.
That's not what it is in eastern Kentucky. It's alive and well.
Tim Clark with the Johnson County Sheriff's Department says in the mountains, prostitution goes hand in hand with drug addiction.
If they don't have money, they'll do anything they have to do.
Sometimes addiction leads people to do things they normally would not.
Females and the males as well are trading themselves for their drugs.
Police say this sad situation is what some women find themselves in every day.
Oftentimes when you see individuals engaging in prostitution, they have had either some kind of trauma in their childhood or adolescence, like sexual abuse.
Dr. Tiffany Sloan at the West Cary Emergency Shelter says usually women or men in prostitution are depressed.
They do experience a lot of self-worth problems, low self-esteem, and they do feel lost.
Places like the shelter or addiction recovery centers can offer help.
To offer people that hope and to offer them treatment, substance abuse treatment, as well as mental health treatment for trauma.
Breaking the cycle. Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
If you or a loved one is in need of counseling or a place to live, you can call the West Cary Emergency Shelter at 606-432-9442. To Whitley County now, where a man is charged after he took his clothes off and jumped in someone's pool. Kentucky State Police arrested Stephen Hinkle on Sunday morning. Police say that Hinkle knocked on the door of a home while under the influence. When the homeowner wouldn't let him in, he stripped to his underwear and jumped in the pool. When the homeowner still wouldn't let him in, they say Hinkle took off his underwear and got naked in the roadway. Hinkle is charged with criminal trespassing, public intoxication, and indecent exposure. One local man left with nothing after his home in Perry County burned to the ground yesterday afternoon. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. WYMT's Emily Bennett was at the fire talking to neighbors about the scary scene.
A scene one never wishes to see.
It was really scary. It was a scary sight to see all those flames and to know how close it was to our home.
Darlene Whitaker got a text from her parents saying the neighbor's house was on fire. And when she arrived,
the house was all engulfed in flames and it had melted all the siding off of my parents' home.
When the fire department was called, the damage was already too much.
It already got into the ceiling. We made an interior attack on it a couple different times, tried to get it put out. Did a double roof. So a whole lot we could really do for it.
And the fire hydrant near the house was not working, causing much frustration.
We had to use the hydrant approximately a half mile down the road.
The home belongs to Matthew Sumner, a coal miner and a veteran at the Vicco Volunteer Fire Department.
When it gets to this point, there's nothing we can really salvage. It's a very sad thing, and this is one of our members' home of the department, and he's very dear to us, and it's a sad day we can't save anything.
He was in the mines when he got the call.
He was at work while all this happened. He had no idea what was going on.
Sumner's neighbors are speechless.
He's lost everything, and we just think the world of him. He's a wonderful man.
And everyone wants to do as much as they can.
Hopefully we can get him some help out here and everything for him and his family. So we deeply regret that we couldn't do any more.
Helping him to get back on his feet. In Perry County, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
No one was home during the fire. Firefighters say the flames began in the back of the house. The cause has not yet been determined. We have a traffic alert to pass along to drivers in Hazard today. Transportation officials say the ramp from eastbound Hal Rogers Parkway to Kentucky 15 will be closed from 9 in the morning to noon. Traffic needing to get on Kentucky 15 South will have to use Morton Boulevard. To get to Kentucky 15 North, drivers will have to go to the entrance of Walmart and turn around. The first day of school is around the corner, and with that comes the cost of back-to-school shopping. Researchers with the National Retail Federation say the cost is breaking records. Spending is up around $150. The cost of classroom supplies is also rapidly climbing. WYMT's Katie Cook visited a local school that is helping parents with these costs.
Back-to-school shopping is becoming increasingly difficult.
Recently I was on Facebook and I saw a parent where they had asked for people to donate some school supplies for their children. And even at Walmart I can see where people are like, no, we can't get this one, it's too much.
And teachers like Alexa Conlon do all they can to help out their students.
Just because they know it's a low income around here and a lot of kids are not going to be able to get everything that they're supposed to get for school.
Events like this one at the Whitley Central Intermediate School help ease that burden of the back-to-school agenda.
We opened the doors at 9 and we had a line at 8:15. We give away school supplies. A lot of the community partners donate school supplies.
And by the end, most of the supplies were gone.
School supplies go by or get taken pretty quickly.
From paper to pencils,
crayons, notebooks, and glue.
They offered it all for free.
And that helps.
Put this in there.
Students also could get a free haircut and medical exams.
Again, just to help the parents and get the kids ready for school.
Making sure they're prepared for that big first day. In Whitley County, Katie Cook, WYMT Mountain News.
The National Retail Federation found many parents wait until the last minute to find the best deals on school supplies online. Well, families in Pike County also had a chance to get some help with the rising cost of back-to-school shopping yesterday. Grace Fellowship in Pikeville held its free community lunch, where along with a breakfast buffet, those in charge offered free backpacks and school supplies for students. Students gathered to pick from a variety of different backpacks, each one filled with snacks, notebooks, and other school items. Pastor Debbie Bailey says this is one way the church can add to its community outreach.
There's a need. Backpacks are expensive. School supplies are expensive. Families are hurting. Families are in need. And this is just one way that we can help meet that need.
Bailey says the church partnered with Unite Pike to host the event. This is the second year the church has hosted a backpack giveaway. Well, last week we told you about a critical shortage of Kentucky teachers. The state's Department of Education says as of January of 2019, there were more than 5,000 teaching positions available in the Commonwealth. 1 week before students return, the Estill County School Superintendent says they are still trying to find new teachers. He talked with Hillary Thornton about the problem many districts are facing.
As students enjoy their last days of summer, school administrators in Estill County are facing a problem.
As of right now, we probably have 3 or 4 positions that are not filled.
It is a problem many districts are dealing with. Last week, the state's education commissioner acknowledging a statewide teacher shortage.
I've been in this business for 34 years, and I never dreamed that we would have a hard time trying to fill a health and PE position.
Whether it's due to attrition rates or retirement, Saylor says there are simply more positions than there are young people going into the teaching profession. He says the struggle is especially difficult because they want quality people who truly want to be in that specific position.
Kids know when teachers care about their subject area, and they know when they're being sincere about their reasons for being here. Kids know.
One of the openings here in Estill County, Superintendent Saylor feels they are unlikely to fill for this school year and could have an impact on future course offerings for the students here in this community.
Moving forward in the future, Spanish would probably not be an option for students in Estill County.
It is a slippery slope, Saylor says the state has been on for many years now, and he believes the solution will come when all groups involved in education truly work together.
If we cannot stop this rhetoric that we hear out there, all the negativity that's out there on both sides of the aisle, and come together in a compromise situation and try to figure out what's best for our kids, then we're going to be in trouble.
Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
The state's education department says they plan to use programs like Teach for America to fill spots. They are also looking into alternative certification routes and hiring based on work experience. Yesterday, children from Perry County experienced firsthand the jobs our first responders do each day at emergency camp. This 2-day event is hosted by the Challenger Center, where kids checked blood pressure, learned about safety gear, and how to put out a fire. They then took a field trip to Hazard ARH to see the command center.
My favorite part about the command center is that they save lives and they can call help in other hospitals.
At the command center, they were able to see how first responders receive calls for help and then bring them to the hospital for treatment. Today's camp will include the Hazard Police Department and learning about how ambulance workers respond to 911 calls. A program for Judy's Place for Kids called CASA is looking for volunteers. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. This branch serves Pike, Floyd, and Magoffin counties. Typically, a CASA volunteer will spend around 18 months on a child's case. Program Director Shauna Kelly Blair says right now they have 18 volunteers, but the court system sees hundreds of cases each year.
And so we definitely need more that can provide a voice for a child, be an advocate for them, and the volunteers stay on the case until the family court case is closed in family court.
If you want to be a volunteer, you must meet a short list of qualifications. Volunteers will also be required to take a 30-hour training class spread out during a few weeks. The next training session will be in mid-September. Coming up, we'll tell you more about how one teenager just made millions simply by playing video games.
After a nice stretch of dry weather, the rain is back again with an approaching cold front. I'll have the soggy forecast in about 3 minutes.